If you like sports and you like anime, man, do I have the show for you. Let's get started. This time we're going to be talking about Haikyuu, the show about volleyball, friendship, and all the memories you make along your way to nationals. So we obviously have our main team, Karasuno High, but we also have other teams like Nekoma, Fukurodani, Aba Josai, Date Tech, all these other teams that are fighting to compete for a chance in the Nationals. So let's talk about the main stars of the show. We got Karasuno High, we have Hinata and Kageyama, which are like the two central boys we get from early on. We see them have this rivalry and this like vet trying to go about being better than one another. They both have these different sets of talents that they use, but both are very skilled. Kageyama is more of a talent and skill based, while Hinata is more of just like jumping. He can jump really high. He doesn't have the skills of the game down to a science when he first starts, or probably even right now where the series is at, but he is progressing and getting a lot better. But as the show does go on, these two end up becoming quite good friends, if I do must say so myself. They do still compete, obviously they're going to. They are very competitive by nature, but they are a lot more friendly with each other, and it's very comedic to see them go at it pretty much every episode. This show is like based on comedy. I love it. It's one of the funniest shows I think that I've ever seen in my entire life. So if you like sports and you like comedy, you know, come on, hop on the Haikyuu train. It's pretty huge as far as I'm aware. But we can kind of talk about like the other teams, I suppose, because they are an essential part of this series. It's not just about Karasuno or Karasuno, however you want to say it. There's the other teams that make the players of Karasuno so much better because they're there to help each other out. I mean, yeah, they all want to win. Don't get me wrong. But they also are, you know, it's a game. They're having fun. They want to beat each other, but they want to have fun beating each other and helping each other out along the way, which makes it so much more of an enjoyable show to watch. Because obviously you want Karasuno to win when you're watching, but then you get these backstories from the other teams or these stories, and it's fantastic. Like, you don't want them to lose either. It's a battle going on inside of your own head of who you want to win. You think you want Karasuno to win the entire time while you're watching the show. And I know I did at first, and then I saw these other teams and the relationships they have, and it's fantastic. I don't want them to lose either. If everybody could win in this magical show, it would be fantastic. I say magical, but there's nothing magic about this show, nothing superhuman in that sense. It's magical in an emotional sense. Yeah, sure, don't get me wrong about that. But magic is out the door. They do seem superhuman, but they're not. It's just volleyball, guys. So if you like regular sports, like volleyball, watch it. I mean, there's no sports going on right now anyway, with everything being friggin' canceled. Am I right? Like, so obviously the other teams can be a little bit trolly, but you're gonna laugh about it. Like, there's not a time in this show where I think I hated a single character. Like, even the side characters I grew to love. It's fantastic. There's so much about each character that makes them so unique, and it's just enjoyable to watch them grow and progress. I know when it comes to Haikyuu, everyone says there's not a lot of progression, but you gotta take into account that it happens over the course of like maybe a year or two. There's not a whole big time span, and there's no magical timey-wimey kind of crap happening here. It's the progression of a team trying to make it to nationals. So there's progression as far as there can be, and I think it's done rather well in my opinion. You have character conflict as well as like inner team building, and it's fantastic. Like, the team pushes each other to try and be better. The other teams push themselves to try and be better and beat each other in these tournaments. The tournaments, but there's also practice games, I should say. The practice games don't really mean anything as far as getting to nationals. They're just practicing to try and practice for the sake of practicing. It's what sports do. It's a sports anime, guys. Come on. No magic. It's sports. God. One of the best things I do like about this show, I mentioned it earlier, is that you think you're going to be rooting for Karasuno the entire time. I don't even think Karasuno is my favorite team, nor any of the members my favorite characters from the series. Like, that's what makes it such an incredible show. All these side teams, who aren't even the main teams, you're rooting for and you want them to win. I'm not going to reveal who my favorite character is, although he's mentioned in this video, and I love him. Teehee. But let's get back down to the show. I know when people think about volleyball, they tend to think like, oh, it's just volleyball. There's baseball or football or soccer, which are the main sports I feel like people follow, or even golf for some reason. Not hating on people that play golf, but I just don't. I like volleyball, and this show is about volleyball, and they make it interesting. There are some unhealthy habits between the manager of the team and the players of the team, the two specifically on screen. Yeah, you gotta love it. But it's comedic, and guys, if you watch this show, you're gonna laugh your ass off. If you don't, then there's probably something wrong with your sense of humor, or you just don't get any enjoyment out of your life, which, I mean, hey, go watch, Made in Abyss and laugh at that, I guess. I don't know, it's dark. Kids get tortured, if that's your kind of thing. By all means, go and do it. But watching these egotistical players get better as the series goes along, there's nothing I would rather do than watch my favorite group of dorks just thrive and vibe off of each other. It's fantastic. I don't like using the words that I just did. I feel very cringy. Just gonna throw that out there, sorry. But we're gonna go ahead and move on. The fact that everybody in Krasno trains day in and day out, you really feel like you're a part of the team. You want to play volleyball after you watch this show, and you want to train as hard as they do. You want to go run half a freaking marathon so you can be on par with Hinata and Kagayama and Asahi and Nishinoya and everybody. It's ridiculous. You want to be there. You want to be in the stands or on the court, just being a part of the freaking team, which you feel like you are the entire time. I don't cry to a lot of shows, not saying I cried to this show, but I got pretty freaking close, if I'm gonna be completely honest, because yes, it's very funny, but it's also extremely emotional and traumatic to some of the things that happen in the show. It's incredible. They play on, it's okay, I'm gonna put it this way, it's an emotional roller coaster. I love that saying, and I've heard it multiple times, and it perfectly describes this show. Although a lot of the time you are going to be laughing your ass off, you're gonna be on the edge of your seat. Season 3, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I had not started Season 4 because I wanted to wait for it to be completely over so I don't have to wait to watch an episode, because it's nuts. I don't want to wait. You just want to keep going and binging it, which is what I did with this show. I binged all the first 3 seasons, I want to say, in 2 days, which you could have done. It could have been done quicker. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I could have been done quicker, but I didn't. It took 2 days because I spaced it out. Besides the point, everything about this show is incredible, and I'm gonna say it a lot because it's freaking true. Alright, so obviously there aren't just players when it comes to volleyball. There's also management. There's the fans in the stands, which, I mean, Krasno doesn't have the most fans out of any of the other groups that play volleyball, but they do have fans, and the fans that they do have are very supportive and there for their team, as well as their manager, who literally knows nothing about volleyball, but he's there to help them out. The manager, I think she's the manager, she's a girl, I forgot her name, not gonna lie, but she knows a lot about volleyball. She gets another volleyball coach to kind of help him out, it's fantastic. It's a whole series. The coach is the grandson, I want to say, of the famous coach that Krasno had back in the day, and he's awesome. He pushes them all to get things done. It's nuts, guys, God. But I'm trying not to spoil anything here. A lot of the things in here might be kind of spoily. I didn't really think about that before I started talking, but that's okay. You have relationships between the brothers. Haha. Tsukishima, his brother, is funny. He played volleyball too, but not as good as Tsukishima on the team, because he's incredible. I'm getting up on side tangents here. There's just so much to talk about this show, guys. It's incredible. The stands, I was talking about. The fans, not stands. I don't know who stand is. Fan. The fans are nuts. The principal of the school gets everybody going, and it's fantastic. They have this nice, cute little cheer, and everybody starts singing it. It's just a great time. You want to be a part of it. I know I was singing when they were singing, on screen. I was reading along and singing. I was cheering, and you're going to be cheering too. You just want Karasuno to win so freaking badly. I mean, you might want other teams to win, don't get me wrong, but you're going to want Karasuno to win out of all of them because it's Karasuno. I bought, like, Karasuno gear and put it on to watch Haikyuu. I bought merch for this show, guys. And you're going to buy merch, too, after you watch this show. In a summarization, let's break it down. You got character progression. You got comedy, there's action. It's not freaking shonen fighting, but it's volleyball, it's intense, and it's more intense than a lot of the fights you see in most popular anime. Yeah, I said it. Everything else about the show, the comedy, the fighting, the romance, not really romance. Just watch the show, guys. It's fantastic. I've been Crypto Anime. You guys have a great rest of the day.